Hi Simran, very glad to have you as part of our event today. Just a few questions for D2C startups because Coparo is a D2C brand and in this space, profitability remains a difficult task, difficult to achieve because of heavy marketing spends and consumer acquisition costs. How do you suggest some ways to cut this cost down?
So I think, probably in the early days, all you can do is solve for a very, very sharp product need. So if you choose a certain niche, it will allow you to have a sharper communication. It will allow you to have more incisive, very sharp sort of performance budgets, so that you get the initial marketing flywheel moving. Because I don't think we're going to live in a world where the acquisition costs are going to come down. And neither are we going to live in a world which is so inflationary that the selling prices are forever going to go up, right? So there has to be a way for you to improve your CACs and to improve your, conversion, and then over a meaningful period of time, have retention. So I think always throwing money at the problem is not the answer. I think sometimes it's about finding that very sharp product in the early days. Later, you can always stand for more. You can have more in your category portfolio, but initially have a very sharp product and a sharp consumer need you're solving, which fits very well to a channel, and the magic will happen. And then you plow that back in and you plow that back in, and you have to be patient. But I think any plan that is built on the assumption that your CACs will fall will perhaps fall flat.
Got it. Got it. There is a tight fight between e-commerce marketplaces and D2C platforms. What can be one actionable strategy for a D2C brand to attract and retain customers on their website?
So I think, as a D2C founder, you are solving to get your product out to as many people as possible. That's your objective function. If the person is topping up his or her grocery on Zepto or Blinkit or Instamart, I want them to see Coparo. If somebody is always a habitual Big Basket grocery shopper, I want the lady to build her cart on Big Basket. There will also be somebody who will shop still in a general trade or a modern trade store, and eventually I aspire to get there too. So I think as a D2C startup founder, your job is to be in as many places where the consumer naturally tops up. Beyond that, I think to force fit that, अरे मेरा channel का ratio इतना होना चाहिए, that's a force fit. Your channel ratios will reflect consumer preferences. And in the early days, because you are obsessed with your own channel, you will have a higher indexing of that channel, for a typical consumer behavior. But as you scale, and we've seen it at Coparo as well, as you scale, your own channel contribution will come down, because this isn't a product. Like cleaning products are not products that often get searched on Google. These are searches that pretty much happen on marketplaces. They happen in supermarket aisles.
Yeah. Okay. When you talk about Coparo, what are your future growth plans?
I mean, the idea is to, get to as many Coparo homes as possible. We think that the Indian consumer is premiumizing. They're also choosing wellness, and therefore they're willing to pay for wellness. You're seeing it, whether it's face creams or it's the kind of atta or refined oils that they're choosing to eat. And cleaning had to be next. So what we are very happy and thrilled about is that with our Shark Tank appearance, we've been able to get our message out, to a much larger base than, ordinarily I would have done if I was just chipping away on my own. So now we're realizing that it's not about a demand problem at all. It's a supply problem, The consumers always wanted better, and now more so than ever. So my idea is to be present in as many distribution channels as possible. And we've always been online heavy. Offline is not even 1% of our revenues. So offline will form a part of our distribution strategy as well. And we will have a few more launches. So Coparo is a category brand. It's not a product brand. So we have a hand wash, we have a dishwash, we have a floor cleaner, we have a liquid detergent, and so on. But there are certain cleaning categories which still have weight, where we are not present. So we'll certainly launch in those in times to come. Sure. So in this month, we'll be launching a toilet clear range. So we evaluate, one of the things that we do at Coparo is that it has to be a daily use product. Because that builds a lot of repeatability and inherent scalability. And it has to be a product where we are confident that if you used a natural surfactant or you use an organic bioenzyme, you're able to deliver very high quality results. Because the Indian consumer isn't going to really pay, forget about a premium, they're not going to pay or come back to you a second time if your product doesn't clean. Because we are a very germy, very dusty nation. So cleaning is sort of the hygiene. वो तो करना ही है. उसके ऊपर if you can give me something which is safer or it smells nicer, I'm happy.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. From two more questions. From your learning experience, what is one big learning you would like to share with your fellow D2C founders and the upcoming D2C founders who are looking
We're
at?
very young still in our journey. So, too presumptuous for me to say that from my learnings. But I think the biggest learning I've had is that you've got to constantly learn. Your playbook is different from somebody else's. Your category, its volumetrics, its margin structures will be different. The kind of channels which will work for you will be different. Communication which works maybe even for your competition may fall flat, for you. So I think mostly just be experimental and be open to feedback. So many times the feedback is right in front of us. It's your consumer telling you something, it's your data telling you something, and you ignore it, right? So be highly data driven, be very open minded about feedback that is coming, and then keep experimenting.
Right. My last question, in your words, how would you define D2C 2.0?
I think we are witnessing it today. I think, this is really 2.0. I think, back a lot of the reasons why I started Coparo was when I saw a lot of batchmates of mine, whether they were from McKinsey or they were from ISP, who were building very successful consumer brands, and I think that was the first wave when there was early adoption of e-commerce, there was a discovery of brands. I think now you have a class of millennials and then the Gen Zs who are a force to reckon with, right, where consumption is concerned. They are willing to experiment with new brands. They want to be associated with purpose-driven brands, It has to do more than just promise the functionality and deliver on that. And I think there is a lot of ambivalence today between channels. You're okay to discover a brand on its website. Maybe you window shop it on Amazon, maybe you pick it up on quick commerce, maybe you then repeat it on a big basket, right? So I think we're seeing 2.0 materially play out today, because now the consumption story is well and truly here, right? I think there's so many reports that get written about how large D2C brands and what's the ecosystem that they're playing in. And distribution channels are evolving. So I think the first wave of brands came up around Amazon and Flipkart and the dominance of such channels. Today we've got quick commerce, which is going to give rise to a different set of brands, because not every channel and product is aligned. So I think we're witnessing 2.0 right now, where the focus is much more on channel fitment, while of course keeping a product niche in mind.
Yeah. Sure. Nice talking to you, Simran.